I recently got an art phone card, so let's go see a new museum in London. Today I'm visiting the Foundling Museum, which is a former children's home. It's housed in this three-story building, complete with this grand staircase. So you start your visit on the ground floor, which displays the background of how this children's hospital was set up. A man named Thomas Coram had a vision. In London, thousands of children were abandoned by their parents, and they were just simply left on the street to fend for themselves. As well as offering them a safe haven, the home also gave them a structured upbringing to enable them opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise have had. The Foundling Hospital closed in 1954, which means that up until recently, there were still people alive who grew up here. There was this room of voice recordings where you could listen to their first-hand experiences. Just beware of the cuckoo clock because it made me jump out of my skin. Moving on, up the stairs, we're going to go up to the first floor and onto the gallery. I was wondering what a gallery was doing inside a children's home, but once I got up there was this plaque which explained everything. In order to entice and secure donations from wealthy donors, Thomas Coram had a plan. He turned the place into a hotbed of art and music, which in turn attracted even more wealthy donors. And among the upper echelons, to be philanthropic was to be fashionable. I've got to be honest, I didn't recognize most of the paintings, not even the style, not even the subjects, not even the artists. I don't say this to criticize the worth of the donations or the artwork itself, but just to say that if you do visit, don't expect a fully fledged gallery. Some special mentions, this portrait of Jacqueline Wilson, which was totally unexpected, and this Canaletto, although I'm not entirely sure about that because the plaque says after Canaletto, so I don't know what that means. Onto the third and final floor, and there were yet more paintings. This floor is actually dedicated to Handel, the composer. He was both a donor and governor of the Foundling Hospital, which explains why it has a whole floor dedicated to him. Well, this floor is pretty small and half of it's cordoned off, so maybe it's like the attic or something. On display were a lot of manuscripts and sheet music. I really like this table in the middle of the room, which was a way of showing the timeline of his life. Although I will say it was a little bit difficult to read because you had to keep craning your head and walking around to read it. In the next room, there are a lot of rare and precious items, which I'm guessing you need special permission to handle and view. Interestingly, one of the items not behind the glass wall was this pretty cool harpsichord, which just had a little sign saying do not touch, but would have been so easy for someone to touch it if they wanted to. And with that concludes my visit to the Foundling Museum. It's a pretty small building and it only took me about an hour to get around. But saying that, it packed a lot in. I found it really interesting to learn about the history of this place. And if it wasn't half term and for all the children enjoying the space downstairs, I probably could have spent a lot longer here.